and present to you our topic for the day, which is teaching methodology for elementary mathematics. So teachers, we have today, today's topic is teachers methodology for elementary mathematics. Before we start our topic, I just would like to ask you a simple question. What is the role of a teacher? What is the role of a teacher? We all are teachers, right? And understand the importance of our role in the development of our students' career and their life. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am,
Yes,
for your response. Thank you so much, ma'am. So what do you think, ma'am, are some of the roles which we play as a teacher? Can I have few words from your side? Anyone wants to share some? They can discuss about the role, what we play as a teacher.
Motivate the students
One by one. Yeah.
To
all the
support the
students.
learners, ma'am. We have to support the learners.
Yes, ma'am. Very good. Support the learner. Anyone else?
Ma'am, as a teacher, we play multiple roles, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely, we play multiple roles.
Multiple roles. We have to be, sometimes we have to be a teacher, and sometimes we are like mothers in making them understanding the concepts or something. So like this, we play many roles.
Yes,
as a
ma'am. Correct,
teacher.
ma'am. We play many roles. Anyone else?
enhancing the holistic development of a child, each and every child.
Super, ma'am. Yes, we are enhancing their all over all the places. We have to enhance their development. Very good, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Anyone else?
Motivate the students.
Yes, motivate the students. One more.
To create wonderful learning experience, ma'am.
Sorry, ma'am. To create.
Wonderful learning experience, ma'am.
No, not understanding, ma'am. To create.
Wonderful learning experience, ma'am.
Yes, wonderful learning experience. Very good. So we all are here to impart knowledge, right? In our student, and that was our key task. So here are a few points. What I want to share as a teacher, what are the role we play? So imparting education as a major role of a teacher. To do this, what we have to do then? If we want to make a more effective this, so what we need for that? We need to choose from
A proper methodology.
yes, ma'am.
Or
Proper
method.
Yes, ma'am. Proper methodology. And we have so many methods, we have so many techniques which is available for teaching. But we have to choose the right method and right technique that will help us to make our teaching more effective and encourage the creativity and innovation among our students. Right? After that, what we have to do? Definitely when we teach, children will be having lots of doubts and questions. Am I right?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
So as a teacher, what is our duty? We have to clear their doubts. We have to clear their concern, and we have to give answer for their question. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
And the last step will be what? Evaluating outcomes of students, mean what they learn, what they are
Yes.
retaining, whatever knowledge they have been given. For this, we have to evaluate, and for that also we have lots of ways, like conducting tests, assessment, and techniques also. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine.
Yes, ma'am. So do you have any other point which we can add for this, ma'am? Anyone wants to share any other point which we can add in this role?
As a teacher, we have to give space for them, even to make mistake.
Yes, ma'am. So shall we move to the next topic? How we will do this thing? So today we will talk about how can we enhance the role of a teacher. So we'll talk about three things that will help us enhance our role. First one is approach. What is the meaning of approach? The way of handling our student, the way we handle our student. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
How we approach our student, how we handle our student. Next, we will see various methods. Yeah, which we can adopt in our teaching. And under methods, we can see lots of techniques that are available for our approach, whatever approach we'll choose. Am I right, teachers? The approach, methods, and technique, these three things are related to each other. What approach we choose, for that, what methods we want, and for that method, what kind of techniques you want. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Any doubt in this, teachers? Shall we move to the next screen?
Okay.
Yeah. According to our approach, certain methods and techniques will be best suited. I'm going to discuss so many techniques and methods, but depends on our approach. You have to choose your method and techniques. Let's look further in detail with example. Now, when we talk about approach, as I said, very simple sentence, the way we handle our student, right? Anyone can say anything. How will you describe this approach here? When we talk about teaching, I have given very simple sentence, how we handle a student. Anyone has any other idea? What is the meaning of approach?
Positive approach.
Yes. In teaching, what kind of approach we can follow, ma'am?
From simple to concrete concepts can be introduced to children rather than directly come to the topic.
Yes.
What they know already, from we can get their prerequisite knowledge from the students, and then we can move further
Yes.
to the new concept.
Okay. Very good, ma'am. Means we should not say what we know. We should ask students what they know, and based on that, we should continue our teaching. Am I right,
Yes,
ma'am?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So what ma'am said, that was called, that is called, what is that called? Anybody can say what is that approach called? When we involve student in that, what is that approach called?
Student-centered approach, ma'am.
Very good, ma'am.
Learner-centered
Student-centered,
approach.
yes, a learner-centered approach. So here, the first approach, what we'll talk about, teacher-centered approach. That is nothing, is also known as deductive or lecture approach, where teacher will just explain the topic, explain the concept, and here teacher is the expert and the source of knowledge. Of course, we all are source of knowledge. We all are expert in our subject. But here we are teacher-centered. We are telling the student what is right and what is wrong, and this is the concept, this is the method, you have to follow this. Am I right, teachers?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
When we come to student-centered approach, this is educational method that shift the focus of instruction from the teacher to the student. Means our center point is student now. Now teacher will not come up with only instruction. And students are giving the opportunity to learn independently and from one another, like a peer learning. Am I right, teachers? So when you see the student-centered approach, so what is the role of teacher in this approach? Teachers is playing a role as a partner or what? What would be facilitator? Student-centered approach, teachers playing a role as a partner and facilitator. Now we'll talk about which approach we should use. However, before that, I would like to take you through the methods and techniques, right? Why? So they will also influence the student approach So we need techniques and method which will help us to approach. We have to approach the student-centered approach. We have to take teacher-centered approach. So we need methods and techniques to complete that thing, right? Influence these approaches. Am I right, teachers?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So methods of teaching. When we talk about teaching, what is teaching? The process of explaining the world of knowledge to a student's mind is the teaching methodology, what we call teaching. When we explain our knowledge to student, that is our teaching methodology. Am I right, teacher?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
it includes lots of principles, methods, which we can use. And there are various factors that determine what strategies to use. Mainly the subject matters to be taught and partly by the nature of learner. Why we say partly by the nature of learner? Subject matter. But why we say we have to see partially by the nature of learner? Why do we need to choose the method which is also see the nature of learner?
Namaste, ma'am. Not all students will have the same learning style.
Correct.
So some may be auditory learners. Some will like to learn using an activity. Some
Correct.
we can see and then learn from the board, like visual learners. So
Correct.
based on the learning style of the students, so we'll have to determine the kind of teaching aspect, the approach of teaching.
Correct, ma'am. Correct. So what ma'am is saying, we have to see, we don't have the same kind of student in our class. We'll be having 35 to 40 students. And all student does not have the same pattern to learn. They will follow different patterns. We have to understand that also, and we have to choose our methods and techniques according to that. Because these methods of techniques are the main pillars. Thinking what is the best method of teaching. Okay? So what do you think, ma'am? What is the best method of teaching and how will you decide that? How will you choose that? Anyone who can give answer for this? Based on whatever we have discussed till now. Teachers? Can I have?
Yes, ma'am. The best method of teaching, it should be in a way that it should reach all type of students. It should
Correct.
cover the slow learners and
Correct.
the quick learners and everyone.
Yes, ma'am. Correct. Anyone else who wants to share what is the best method of teaching? How will you choose your method?
Practical method of teaching, ma'am.
Ma'am, actually learning by doing, they enjoyed and they learned very much, ma'am. They showing lot of interest while learning by doing like activities or for example, if profit and loss, some of the students like shopkeepers, some of the activities, real life activities we will give means they will learn a lot, ma'am.
Correct, ma'am. Correct. What you're saying, learning by doing, definitely they learn a lot. Correct, ma'am. So here is the answer. Best answer for this question is that it depends on your goal. What is your approach? What do you want, right? The student, a learner, and the content, what you want to deliver, and the teacher, right? All see what method I would like to choose. Maybe you will be having different method to teach that concept. Am I right? Same way. Well, what kind of learner I'm having in my class? Maybe you'll be having different kind of learner. What is your content cannot be same what I'm having. So all depends on your goal, your student, the content, and the teacher. But what is the next best answer? Students teaching other students. What is the meaning of that? Student teaching other students?
Peer learning, ma'am.
Peer learning.
Yes, correct, ma'am. But what you understand when I use this word, student teaching other student means what? Means student understand the concept what we are teaching in the classroom.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So you can say because in effective classroom, Students should not only know what they are doing.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So now we can say in effective classroom, students should not only know what they are doing, they should also know why and how, right? So when we adopt any method, we should see these all the things what I said. Goal, student, the content and the teacher, right? Now,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah. Now we'll see some techniques that will help us to promote active learning and engagement. Teachers, my screen is clear?
Yes, ma'am, it's clear.
One second, teacher. First technique is asking questions. What is the meaning of asking questions? We do this to prompt discussion and critical thinking. So what is the meaning of this asking question? When you ask questions based on your topic, what you want to teach them, right? You can see, you can take the example as a clock. We can use clock topic from class 1 till class 5. But class 1, we can ask the question, how many numbers you can see here and what are the numbers you can see here, right?
Yes, ma'am.
One, definitely answer will come 1 to 12. Then how many hands you can see here? We should not tell how many hands are there. Let them come up with the answer. You should ask question. You can engage student in that. The same clock question we can ask in class 2, where we can ask them what is shorthand called, what is longhand called. You can use the model also, clock model, right? And here we can talk about o'clock, half an hour, right? O'clock, half past. And what else we can talk about when we show the clock? Classes wise, you can talk about class 3, class 4. How will you use this clock to ask questions?
We can talk
Class
about AM
3.
and PM, ma'am.
Sorry,
For
ma'am?
class 4. AM, PM.
Correct. Class 4, AM, PM.
And then we can ask them for the skip counting by 5 also, ma'am. They can see the minutes, you know.
Correct.
What is
And
half past
for
3?
class 5th, we can ask about the types of clocks. Which type of clock is this? Or is there any other clock apart from this? So we can ask such type of questions.
Okay. And we can
Half
ask them
past
to
3, ma'am.
we can ask them to what is the connection between minutes and hours. They could
Hours,
say
yes.
1 minute equals to 60,
Yeah, yeah.
1 hour equals to 60 minutes, right?
60 minutes.
Then
Yeah.
how will you give the how you come to 60 minutes? Then again you can talk about between two numbers you have 5 minutes. Like that, class wise, level wise, we can use this clock to asking questions. This is one of the example. You have so many concepts in math where you can use asking question method to make your learning more effective, and you can engage the student. Am I right, teachers?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any
Yes,
other
ma'am.
anyone wants to share any other topic where we can use asking question method?
We can ask questions to introduce the chapter, ma'am. And
Yes.
after finishing the concept, we can ask questions to check their understanding. So in these two
Right,
ways,
ma'am.
we can use asking questions.
Correct. Even you can give topic to discuss.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
as ma'am said, after completing the concept, right, ma'am? After completing the lesson, you can ask the question. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. And like one of the teachers said, we can use in class for AM, PM. Even for AM, PM, you you can, after you can go for 24 hours clock also,
Yes, ma'am.
right? Yeah.
Mm.
So
Railway timings
level,
also.
yeah, level wise you can go and you can use this clock concept asking questions. Now next, using small groups allows students to interact with each other and share their ideas. What we can do, we can put students in small groups and we can give them a topic to discuss, and then we can ask them to come up with their ideas and thoughts. What kind of activity we can use for that, teachers? Any idea? When we say small groups, so there's an example. Yeah.
Ma'am, namaste, ma'am.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
can use numbers as an example, ma'am.
Correct, ma'am.
Like ask students to bring the numbers from 0 to 9. And when in small groups, they can just form numbers. With that, we can teach multiple concepts like ascending order, descending, like increasing order, decreasing order, who has the highest number, who has the least number.
Yes, ma'am.
And what are the like 5-digit number or 6-digit number that we can form within
Yes,
the group.
ma'am. Building a number. Yes.
Building numbers.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So what ma'am said, even I have the same example. We can use
Okay.
the flashcard. We can give them beads, right? And we can give the beads as a group. We will not give, this is 4, this is 5. Let them decide who's having what number flashcard and let them choose how many beads. Let them discuss in a group. And we can use, again, you can use level wise. Class 1, you can go for this. Class 2, you can ask them to make 10s and 1s. Any 2 number, you can ask them to frame. You depends how many flashcards, how many students are there in the group. Class 3, we can ask them to use abacus. I believe everyone knows the abacus. Like once they have to use like a rod. Then first ones place how many beads, second place how many beads, with the 10th place and the 100th place how many beads. Then they have to frame a number. Then class 4, what we can do for class 4?
We can give building blocks, ma'am. Ones block, tens block, hundreds block, thousands block.
What we can do, ma'am?
We can represent the number in a visual form, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Correct,
The
ma'am.
blocks.
Yes. Anything else what we can do in a small group using numbers, same cards?
Ma'am,
We can ask them to form the greatest 5-digit
Yes,
number
ma'am.
and the smallest 5-digit
ma'am.
number.
Very good, ma'am. Yes.
We can ask them to frame a greatest 5-digit and smallest 5-digit number using the flashcards of each and every digit.
Correct, ma'am.
Not
Correct.
grateful.
Yes, ma'am. So with that, they will also revise their place value concept, right? They should know which place what number should come.
Yes.
Am I right, ma'am? Yeah. And to make it more tricky, you can add 0 in this number. So when they make smallest digit number, they should know they are making 4-digit number or 5-digit number when they are adding 0. Smallest 4-digit number, 5-digit number. When you add 0, definitely there will be some doubt, which maybe they will solve within their team, or we can also give them idea how to make the smallest 5-digit number, 4-digit number using 0. Am I right, teacher?
yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
The next one is giving students choice. So what is this? Actually, sometimes we have to make our student active during the class before we start the session. So sometimes we give them choice. This is the topic what we are going to teach them, and we have to motivate them. For that, we can give them choice. We can give them few options. Today, we are going to do some activity, or we will do some worksheet. What do you like to do today? So you can get the choice from student to increases their engagement and motivation. So these are the techniques what we have seen now. These 3 techniques we spoke about are best suited technique for a teacher-centered approach, where we are asking them question, we are making the small group of students, we are giving them topics, right? And this suits to our teachers-centered approach because they will get more engagement and from our student when we use this technique. Now let's look at the few techniques that will enhance the student-centered learning. And why we need the student-centered learning? We have seen teacher-centered learning, and we have seen nice I think shared 3 methods, and I think all 3 methods we are making student engage in that. Then why do we need the student-centered learning? Any idea, teachers? Why do we need these learning?
Giving opportunity to the students to enhance their understanding.
Correct, ma'am.
Ma'am, during the process of doing the activity, they learn, ma'am, in the
Yes.
student-centered approach.
Correct, ma'am.
Rather than the teacher transacting everything, we give an activity to them. So in order to complete that activity, they will collect information and they will organize things. So that becomes a learning process for the students.
Correct, ma'am. So
For
we
better
can, yeah.
for better understanding and also to avoid the rote learning.
For better to avoiding.
For better understanding, the child has to do by themselves and
Yes.
also to avoid the rote learning. In case if they don't understand, they started learning, memorizing the content. So we
Correct.
can avoid when they understand.
Yes, ma'am. Correct. So we can say this is very effective as students move to higher classes. Smaller classes, they'll be okay to learn the numbers and all. It's all basic. But when they move to the higher classes, we should have student centered learning. So make them more effective, right? Our teaching. Now, when we come to student centered learning, we can see first method is active learning. So active learning is our one such technique where we give them topic and let them discuss, let them have debate and brainstorm during.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
when we have few topics for debate for class 4 and 5, ma'am, few suggestion topics for debate which can be conducted in the classroom.
Yeah, ma'am. That is, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Definitely. But this is now maths topic where we can talk about some concept, right, ma'am?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So it's general ma'am topic. Now it depends on your subject also. What content you are going to use? What is your topic? How's your learner? Based on your learner, you can use this technique, ma'am. Not all the topic you can use this technique. Am I right, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. So anyone can suggest any topic. If you can think of the topic, we'll go with this learning. Anyone? Teacher, you can think about a topic which can go through with this topic. Active learning, where students discuss, explain, debate, brainstorm during the class, and then share their thoughts and ideas.
We can post a question like you have a birthday party.
Yeah.
The student have to have the list of invitees and what food, the cost of food. We can brainstorm those ideas to the children. Then they can come up with the discussions and which includes addition, subtraction, multiplication all over. So basic operations can be done due to this topic.
Correct, ma'am. Anyone else? We can give them situation you're saying, right, ma'am? Purnima, ma'am, I think
Yes,
now,
ma'am. If we give the topic and if we brainstorm related to the topic, then they come up with the math concepts.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Correct. Yes, Kamakshi, ma'am. I think you're thinking what kind of topic we can take for this technique.
Yes, ma'am. I was thinking about fractions where we can give a lot of examples for
Yes,
fractions.
ma'am. Correct. Fraction, you can use
A lot of examples.
Yes,
So
ma'am. Correct.
in that way, we can maybe we can connect to the real world.
Real world.
Fractions.
Yes, ma'am. Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So which was what I was thinking.
Yeah. So now,
Even time chapter also we can
yes, even I
use
was
for
thinking
this, ma'am,
time
time.
chapter. We can talk
Yes,
about
ma'am.
the
Money
duration.
chapter also, ma'am.
Duration. Yes, ma'am.
Duration,
Money
even
chapter.
hours, 24 hours. We just know we talk about 24 hours. Let them think, let them, their AM, PM, they will get, they will be having lots of doubt when they are converting to 24 hours. Am I right, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Give them topic, give them some situation where they have to think and come up with their thoughts and ideas. Next, cooperative learning. Now, cooperative learning in teams and small project where they have given tasks to complete in groups. And here they can divide small tasks among themselves. They can divide. They can, we have given one topic and they have to divide that work within them, their team, right? And come up with the solution. So they can work in a project. In that project, they can divide the work between them, who will do what work step by step. And at last, when they get the solution, they can come with the solution.
I think data handling works well, ma'am, for a cooperative learning. One can collect the data, one can represent in a pictograph, tally mark, chart.
Yes, ma'am.
I think so.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, you're talking about where we have class 4 and class 5 students. But when we have a smaller student, class 1 and class 2, we can use the simple concept shapes. Am I right, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, yes.
Yeah, Purnima, ma'am. So, such a nice example you have given class 4 and 5. I think other teachers are also agree with that. The data handling we can use for class 4 and 5. They can work as a team for that project. And class 1, 2, we can go for shape. We can give them different kind of shapes. We can give them the numbers also. And we can ask them to make their own, what we can say, design using that shape.
We can use this for patterns, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. They can use for the patterns also. Correct, ma'am. Let them find their own patterns using the sheet.
Yeah, they can bring so many objects which is available at their home, and they can find which can roll, which can flat.
Correct, ma'am.
Correct. Grade level 1 and
yes. Yes. So with that, they can learn the different shapes, and they will definitely, while doing it, they will learn a lot. When they come with their own object, they can discuss during the class. Anyone else who wants to share their own idea and any example, any experience where they have used this cooperative learning?
Ma'am, one example that we can give is with respect to a chain, ma'am, which has different colorful beads.
Okay.
So when we give each group or a bead, what fraction of that bead is red in color? Like that, we can ask some questions to them so that they can count and write the color beads compared to that of the whole, the total number of beads that is there in the chain.
You're talking about individuals. We can give color beads, right, ma'am?
Yes, within group itself, we can give beads or ice cream sticks that are colorful.
Correct.
And then we can ask them questions. What fraction of it is green color? What fraction of it is in red color?
Even this activity we can do individually also, one-to-one.
Yes, individually also. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, we can use a tangram for we played a tangram, and as a group they have to cut the shapes of the square into 7 pieces, and they have to arrange quickly. That I showed in that PPT. I made a lot of tangram pictures.
Okay.
So who do it first, second, like that? I have 5 different or 6 different pictures in the PPT. So
Okay.
who scored first and they got the prize and they are the winners. Like they thoroughly enjoyed about the tangram activity then actually.
Okay, ma'am. So 10 gram, ma'am, it can be only for the one student, or it can be like a group activity also. Right?
Yeah, ma'am, group activity, ma'am. For each and every group, they have 7 pieces. Let them all can together they do, and they have to form a picture.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So what will happen in this learning? Children will be having interaction with their peers, and they will understand they will share their knowledge, what they know. Am I right? And they will learn how to work in a team. So using this technique, what do you think? What are the other things child will learn? Not only maths concept, they are learning how to work as a team also, as a team player, how to listen their peers, right?
Yes, ma'am. They learned how to give opportunity to others. How to so if anyone said anything, means if we need not to oppose completely, or we not to accept completely. Let them argue. They
Yes.
argue something, discuss, and they come to the conclusion.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So
Yes, correct,
once
ma'am.
social bonding will come, we do something for prepare for the society. So like that, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So they will come to the conclusion after having these all the discussions, right? Then next approach is inductive teaching and learning. Another effective technique of learning is presenting the student with the questions and problem. First, we will not say what is the what is the solution for that. First, we'll just present the question or problem, and then learn the course material in relation to solving the given question and problem. So I have few examples. You can see here. The first question, can I request Kamakshi ma'am to read? Question number C.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Geeta and her friends went shopping. She bought things for rupees 58, rupees 37, and rupees 22. Geeta had a 100-rupee note. How much money should she borrow from her friends to pay the bill?
Yes, ma'am. So we can see here we have just given one question or problem where child know money, child know addition, subtraction application. He knows word, number name, right? Here we have used 100 rupees as a number name, right? In word. So now when child read this, he has to understand what we want. And then he will use all his learning, what he has learned till now, to get the answer. So simple word problem. But this word problem we are projecting the question, and child has to relate all his learning, connect, and then he has to find out what is the solution for this question. Am I right, teacher?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Can I request Kavita ma'am to read question number B? Kavita ma'am. Okay. Anyone else who wants to read question number B or A?
Yes, ma'am, I'll read.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Sundari ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Hari booked a railway ticket for rupees 62 rupees and 50 paise. He gave a 100-rupee note. How much money will he get back with the ticket?
Yes. So now see, he has to connect all the word, whatever we have used here. First, Hari booked the railway ticket. Booked. He should know the meaning of book, right? Small children. So they will definitely face the problem with the word book. Then money. Then he has to think, he has given 100 rupees note. then how much money will be back? So he has to think which application he has to use, addition or subtraction. If subtraction, then how to subtract? Again, there is a money, rupee and paise. When he has to subtract, he has to arrange the number. Money, rupees should be in rupees column, paise should be in paise column. Then he has
Yes,
to
ma'am.
borrow, how to borrow. Like that, slowly he reached to his answer. Yes, ma'am. So this is called inductive teaching and learning. Where we are giving question based on their learning. They have to read, understand, and then get the answer. So now these 3 techniques are effective in a student-centered learning approaches nowadays, because with so much awareness, the students are not here to just to write exam and score marks, but to use their learning in solving day-to-day life problems and situations. Am I right? Now this 21st century students are not just, they don't want to just write the exam. This is just the pattern, but they have to face their day-to-day life problems. And using these all the techniques, they are learning they have lots of learning which they can use in day-to-day life activities. Am I right, teachers?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, one thing we all have noticed teaching mathematics is that not every student enjoyed learning session, whatever session we are going, right? Whatever topic we are using in maths. Do you feel all 40 students enjoy the session? Why? Why some kids don't enjoy math?
Because they don't understand, ma'am.
Correct. They
If
don't
they
understand.
understand it properly, they will
Level of
enjoy.
understanding.
Yes, ma'am. Correct, ma'am.
While solving, they
Abstract
get the
concepts.
wrong answers.
Sorry, ma'am.
While solving, they get wrong answers, so they didn't like math.
Fear. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Some abstract concepts, ma'am, which they feel they don't understand.
Correct. They don't understand the concept. Yes, ma'am.
Particularly word
And
problems.
Most of them
and
can,
some of them
will fail to,
understand.
yes.
Yes, Kamakshi, ma'am.
Yeah, yes, most of them fail to understand the word problems, ma'am. So if it is in numbers, they are very, like, they can easily do it, and they can
When
do
it comes
the
to word problem, they face reading
problems.
problem. Reading.
Yes.
There's a problem in reading. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, they try to, it is difficult for them to understand the meaning of the question and then solving it.
Correct, ma'am.
Ma'am, some of them
Students
accepting-
will difficulty remembering math facts and their concepts,
Yes.
the sequence and the procedures.
Yes, ma'am. So we can say, because every kid is different, as we already discussed in a classroom, we have a different kind of learners, right? Few will be having difficulty, few will feel bored, general interest, math and anxiety. Whether they are bored or anxious or disengaged or struggling, there are so many methods that can help you engage every student in our class, regardless of how they feel about maths. As a teacher, we should use lots of methods and techniques which will make our learning more effective, right? So now we will talk about few methods and techniques, especially to make maths fun and interesting for our students. Before that, we'll talk about creative ways to make learning math fun for our students.
Ma'am, by using art integrated activity, we will create some interesting methods for students to learn.
Correct, Charanya, ma'am. Yes,
Yes,
ma'am. Yeah. Anyone else who wants, who will tell why we need creative way and how we can do that?
we can include the art, ma'am, in math, like patterns,
Yes, ma'am. We can
fraction.
Yes, ma'am.
We can include game also, ma'am. Some games also. It will be very
Games
interesting
also.
for the students.
Yes, ma'am. Correct.
We can use puzzle methods, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Correct. So we can see here, when it comes to learning math, not every student is a fan of math, but we can make math fun and help students love the learning journey. Whatever they are learning during the class, we have to make it possible, right? And there's no one size fits, as we have discussed lots of techniques and methods where we have seen it depends on our learner, depends on topic, depend on our goal and teacher. So there's no one size fits all solution for engaging your math class, because it is a process that looks different for every student. The teaching effectively can bring positively to math lessons. Now, we will talk about few techniques, a few methods to make math fun. First technique I can say, math game.
Ma'am, by giving some puzzles also, they will enjoy the learning, ma'am.
Correct, ma'am. So everyone loves game, and especially children. Right? They can use some game to teach math concepts and principles. What else we can do, teachers? Card games. What is the meaning of math station? Math stations. Kamakshi ma'am, Charanya ma'am, Kavita ma'am. What is math station? Yes, Kavita ma'am.
Students only need to visit stations that will move them towards the mathematical proficiency.
Yeah. So how can we make the math station in classroom, ma'am?
Math equipments. Right equipments.
Yeah. Ma'am, in a classroom, we'll be having soft board. Am I right? In the soft board, you can use lots of charts and vocabulary, whatever words we are using, lots of formulas, and make a chart and make it like a math station. When they are walking in the classroom, they can see, they can read, and they can learn so many things from that.
Okay. Okay, ma'am, got it.
Yes, Lavanya ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, got it.
Yeah. Do you have any other idea for math station, ma'am, we can make?
Yes, right now. No, you can.
You can share your idea, ma'am.
Yeah, I thought math station is about math materials, what we have, what kind of
That
materials
also you
we
can
have.
do. It's just the simple concept. What I said is just for the board. You can make your own math station.
Our own math materials to
Yes, ma'am.
explain. If it is related to time, we can make a clock. If it is related to algebra, we can do this algebraic tiles.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
if it is related to addition, subtraction, we can bring blocks to the class.
Correct, ma'am.
So that will also help to the students to realize what is actually happening.
Yes,
So
ma'am. And
they
they will
can connect with
the
real
topic.
life topic as well.
Correct, ma'am. Correct. And math board games, you have so many games where we can use math concept.
Yes.
Yeah. So any one simple example, teacher, I would like to hear any game you remember which we can use for the math board.
Snake and ladder game, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Very nice example. Very simple, and children will enjoy that. Right? They like the addition, subtraction.
Addition, subtraction. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So this is. Yes, ma'am. Now next is visual aids and picture books. So we can say a picture speaks 1,000 words. We don't need to say anything. If you show the picture, children will come to know with so many ideas and thoughts. Am I right, teachers? So nothing better than charts, picture board, and other visual aids to make the student understand maths concepts easily. A teacher, you can give any other idea and thoughts if you have. You can share your any other experience for visual aids and picture books.
Match number names to the correct number.
Number names, ma'am?
Number names to the correct number.
To the correct number. Okay.
And we can write tables, ma'am.
We can write tables and what else,
Tables.
ma'am?
We can write tables, that multiplication tables, and related to the measurement and all, we can write that measurement charts.
Okay.
Ma'am, by showing the real bill, children will be able to identify about how to produce the bill, how to create a bill.
Okay, ma'am. Here we are talking about visual aids, ma'am. In that,
Yeah, visual
we
aids.
should use, yeah.
By showing the bill, ma'am.
By showing the bill, what we can do, ma'am?
Children will be able to identify how the bill will be produced, how it's calculated, where's the quantity, what's the item which should be printed, like that.
Yeah. So then we have to have a discussion in the class when they are learning about bills,
Using
right,
the
ma'am?
visual aid.
Yeah. So only seeing the bill, they will not be able to understand. We have to discuss point by point.
Yes, ma'am.
Am I right, ma'am?
We can make charts related to measurement chapter as well as fraction chapter. We have so many ideas to do with fraction. We
Yes,
can
ma'am.
come up charts.
Yes, ma'am.
We can cut the shapes, and for the shapes we can cut the material and make it ready so that we can explain if it is 2D or 3D shapes.
Yes, ma'am. We have a shapes also, simple
Yes.
shape. We
Yes,
can ask
we
them to
can do
bring
it.
either they can bring the object or they can bring the picture or they can have a stickers, whatever they have, they can easily compare what
So
shape.
when they do with the object, so that they can definitely take it in their mind, and they will they will easily get the point what we are discussing.
Yes, ma'am. They
in
can
the class.
easily understand the concept.
Yes. Yes,
Now
the
I'll come to the next technique. Take a hands-on approach. So what is meaning of hands-on approach? You should take away your hand from the worksheet. You should take away hand from the blackboard. And students should have some real life concept. We should give them some real life concept, something they might be experiencing in themselves, and use maths concept to identify solution. So worksheets are not always the most engaging. Sometimes children will be very bored to do just worksheet. So we have to find real life examples to teach the formulas, concepts, and we have to include student also in that.
Then to find out the perimeter of the given object, we will give one photo or some object, and then ask them to find out the perimeter of the given object.
Yes, ma'am. So that you can use like a garden, you can use like a field. You can talk about the morning walk. You can show
Yes,
the
ma'am.
small ground, and you can say, this is my house and I have to take one round, and there is a field which is rectangular. So what is the perimeter and how much distance I have covered when I take one round?
And also for first and second standard students, we will give some beads and ask them to count. So that's also comes under the hands-on approach. For
Correct,
adding, subtraction, addition,
yes,
all
ma'am.
are we are using some beads.
Correct, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now we have a simple time concept, clock. Daily they see the clock. That also is a hands-on concept, hands-on approach. And anything else, teacher?
Estimate the measurement of your
Estimate
the measurement of your blackboard using hand span.
Yeah, ma'am. That will be they can do. They can use hand span. You can use the concept hand span.
Multiplication concept can be taught using seeds or
Yes, ma'am.
beads or rajma seeds, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Correct.
like how many groups they are forming. Similarly, division can also be taught in this.
Yes, ma'am. Using the Rajma.
Repeated subtract. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. And we can.
Capacity also, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Capacity.
Activity. What activity you can give, ma'am?
Ma'am, we can just keep some bottles or something and we can just tell them to fill it, na?
Yeah.
So by using different sizes of the glasses. So how much, if it is a big glass, so then how many glasses will be needed to fill that bottle? So like that.
Okay, ma'am. So it's you're talking about measurement, right, ma'am?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay, ma'am. And the small student, we can give them a small activity. Again, simple concept is shape. We can ask them to make their own sandwich and then describe the shape and quantity of the items used. The simple sandwich, they can take 2 slices of bread, then 1 slice of cheese. What is the shape of the cheese slice? It's a square. What is the shape of a bread slice? It's a square. Then they will say we have added cucumber. What is the shape of the cucumber? It's a circle. Am I right? And when you cut, again, if you cut it in 4 pieces, make it like a plus sign. You can see it's again, you will get 4 small square pieces. But when you use the slanting line, then you will get
triangle.
Triangle. And again, if you use only a standing line in between, you will get rectangle. So like that, it's a simple shape concept. They can come with the, we can give one small activity to do, and they will enjoy this activity. The next is stick to fixed routine. Means set your timetables, expectations, and end your class with activities with the reinforce the learning to make student. Help student feel settled, confident. Right, teachers? Whatever method you use, student center method approach or teacher center approach, under that whatever method you have used, cooperative learning or active learning or question asking questions, whatever method you're using, you have to make sure children should know your expectations. The outline will be very clear, and you should make sure you should end your class with a high note, with the more activities that enforce learning. Now, a few more ways to make maths fun. Use real objects. So when they see, touch, feel real object, they will relate to the concept better. So play money. It's nothing. You can make a small market in a classroom. You can play like that. One activity you can do, and you can ask them to buy the things what they want, and they can exchange the money. They will learn the money concept better. Abacus for counting and number sense. I believe all teachers use abacus for class 1 to class 5. When they touch the bead, then they count the bead, they can easily understand that place value. Then shapes for geometry. As ma'am said, we can use buttons, seeds, right, for learning the patterns and for learning the multiplication concept and division concept. The same beads and buttons we can use for the addition and subtraction. Flashcard for subtraction, addition, multiplication, division facts. And you can use lots of vocabulary terms. You can use lots of words, which will help child to understand the maths concept. The next will be the physical involvement. To make things active and interesting, we can ask students to get up from their place and move around for activities. So what kind of activities we can conduct for that? Skip counting. And you can use number lines for that. You can make number lines. You can do addition on number line. Then again, the same activity what we have done here, create a market place and get student to make purchase, understand money concept.
Ma'am, we can also do this jumping, ma'am.
Jumping.
Counting forward, counting backward, like one
Correct.
count. That
Yes,
also
ma'am.
we can, in the
Good
class
idea.
if we have space.
Yes, ma'am. Correct.
Same, ma'am. We can play hopscotch for skip counting.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, honey, ma'am.
Jump into the skip counting like hopscotch.
Yes, ma'am. That's ma'am is saying jumping. She is not talking about skip counting. I think she is talking about addition and subtraction. Yeah, am I right, Kamakshi, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Forward counting, backward
Forward
counting.
counting and backward
One
counting.
backward,
But same word, jumping word, we can use for the skip counting. We
Skip
can use
counting,
for the multiplication also. How many
Hmm.
times they are jumping and which number they are reaching, right? So
Yes, ma'am.
that also we can use. Yes, honey, ma'am.
And even we can use this for teaching clock also, ma'am. We can ask the students to act as hands, like long hands and short hands, and then we can ask them to tell a time.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Correct.
For multiplication,
Yes, Uma, ma'am.
3 into 6 means we can ask them to place 3 horizontal and 2 vertical and ask them to find what are the common points.
Ma'am, please, ma'am, can you please repeat your sentence, ma'am?
For multiplication, ma'am, to find out the product, example,
Yes.
3 into 6 means we can ask them to place 3 horizontal and 2 vertical.
Yes, ma'am. So they will
On the
stand, ma'am. How will they place? Means the only student will be placed like that.
Students will place it.
Okay, ma'am. Good, ma'am. Yes.
The meeting points, we can ask them to count it.
Yes, ma'am. And ma'am, as ma'am said, multiplication, even we can give them the thing there should be what application you'll use. If I'll give you 4 in one line and there are only 2 rows. So what will you do and get the answer 8? Let them multiply, add, or whatever. Let them come up with the solution. Right, Uma, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Even we can go as a teacher center approach, or we can use as a student center approach also. Same concept.
Student, ma'am, first. First, we will ask the stick, ma'am. Place them on the stick, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, you're talking about stick, ma'am. You're not talking about the student to stand like that.
We will ask them to place the stick.
Okay.
4 into 2 means we will ask them to place the stick 4 horizontal and 2 vertical.
Okay, so you will give them the sticks, right? Am I right, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, even we can ask student to stand like this in a row.
That also can be
That
done.
can be done, no? Yeah. Okay. Now next is integrated math into other subjects. Use concept from other subject to connect with math problem. Like history, we can ask talk about 2 separate events what child know, and we can ask them to find difference between how many years difference between those events.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Then again, art class, we can ask student to make some greeting card using the geometry shapes. The same way we can use story. We can talk about the story where we can use about the various cities and state, and we can ask them to calculate distance between those cities and states. Again, we talk about the measurement here. And draw bar graphs comparing population, per capita, income, etc. for various countries. Like again, they have to connect that topic, a math topic, with the other subject. Finally, apply lesson to life. We can ask them about what they see in grocery shop. Use example from there, what fruit they like and what are the fruit they see there, vegetables, their weight, cost, and how will you find the bill. And I think class 3 is already learning how to make your own bill if we give them the object. Am I right, teachers? Class 4, we can give them activity.
Yes,
4
ma'am.
object what you bought from the shop. It can be fruit, it can be any stationery material. They can take that material wrapper, they can write the amount, what is the cost of that thing, then make a bill. Then learn about fraction. We have very fraction is very fraction where we can use so many day-to-day examples, right? Pizza, chapati, idli, cake. We can learn fraction very easily using these food items. Then learn how to calculate profit and loss. Sometimes we'll see sale in the market, in the shop. They let them know what is that, how we are getting profit, how's loss. And they are having these all the concepts. And easily we can use these all the concept from the supermarkets also. They know the concept. Now we can just ask them to calculate profit, loss, discount on items from supermarkets. Sundari ma'am, do you want to share some view, ma'am, about this topic, apply lessons to life?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, we can relate it in many ways. So,
Yes,
the example you have told now, by creating a market scene also, if they go and buy the things by using that dummy notes and all, na, so the concept will be clear for them.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Correct.
Yeah, like that we can use the real life situations, na, so where they can use the math concepts.
Yes, ma'am. And they will learn the math concept and day-to-day life activity also.
Life. Yes, ma'am.
When they buy the thing, where they have to see the MRP, what is the amount, how to ask, what amount we have to give, whether we have that much amount with us or not, whether we'll be able to buy that item or not. So with a small concept, they will learn so many things.
Yes, ma'am. Few things they can calculate mentally also without using pen and paper, na. So this will increase their mental math skill also.
Yes,
so they can calculate.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, for profit and loss, we can like anyway, students will be sitting in pairs in the classrooms. So one side, like for example, those who are sitting on the right hand side, we can ask them to calculate CP. Those who are sitting on the left hand side, we can ask them to calculate the SP. Now we can write the name of, let it be from day-to-day life, like 1 kg of tomatoes. Most of the students will not be aware what is the price of 1 kg of tomatoes.
Correct, ma'am.
So this way we can make them understand what is 1 kg. Now we should just ask them not to look into each other's notebook and fix the prices. Then they will verify their notebooks and see whether who has got. So we can ask students who have got profit. So the concept of the selling price and the CP gets registered in their mind. And we can ask students who have losses, like making them to stand and loss, why it is a loss. Then we can ask certain questions, like why it is a loss, because my CP was more than that of the SP. So in this way, we are relating to the real life, making children know like what is the price of 1 kg, because sometimes students will fix 200 rupees also. So then we can ask them, do you really think it will be 200 rupees? Now is it? Go and check with your mother, or next time you go and go to the shop with your mother.
Yes.
So this way we can make the concept as well as, it can be a value-based teaching also.
Yes, Kamakshi ma'am. Thank you so much, Kamakshi ma'am. So using this particular technique, we have lots of learning, right?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So teachers,
you, ma'am.
till now, we have seen methods, techniques that we can use. Let us further understand the differences between teacher-centered approach and student-centered approach. So we can say we will categorize them into 6 parts: knowledge, student participation, role of teacher, assessments, assessment type, and emphasis. Now, when we come for knowledge, we can see student center transmitted through instruction. But when it comes to student centered, constructed by students, they will come up with a lots of solutions and ideas to understand the concept. When we when we talk about student participation, so we can say when it's teacher centered, the child will be in passive mode. Means child involvement will be very less. But when we talk about student centered, the child involvement will be more active. Its participation will be active participation. But we have seen so many methods and techniques where we can make our teacher centered approach also more effective, right? Then role of teacher. So here teacher role will be authority, leader, instructor. But when we come to the student centered, it will be her role is like a partner and facilitator. Then when we talk about assessment, there will be so many assessment when we talk about the teacher center. We'll be having few tests mainly for grading, for giving marks and score. But when it comes to student center, we'll be having lots of activity where children will be involved, completely involved, actively involved. And for ongoing learning, they'll be having lots of experience. For that also, we'll be having lots of tests. Many tests are there for student centered also. Assessment type, here one-dimensional testing and here multi-dimensional. Means we will not only testing what concept they know, how they approach there, what they are doing there, right? All the way we can test them. Emphasis, learning correct answer. We always want the answer correctly when teacher center approach. But when we come to student center, you can see they develop deeper understanding, critical thinking. They try to approach to a solution and what are the methods they can use, what are the concept they know. They try to connect all the things together and they come up with the solution. So any doubt, teacher? If you have any idea to add in these points, where student center, you have any other view, any other thought to add on this? Kamakshi ma'am, Sundari ma'am, Uma ma'am. So let's discuss what is your preferred approach. Should be teacher centered or student centered? Teachers, you can think about that. Yes, Kamakshi ma'am, I think you are ready with your approach. Yes, ma'am.
For certain topics, it can be teacher-centered, and depending upon the grade of the students also certain. For example, 1 and 2 students, it cannot be completely student-centered. So for primary. So for certain topics, it should be teacher-centered in order to facilitate the instructions properly to the students. Whereas for certain other topics in maths itself, it can be student-centered approach. But overall, what works best is definitely the student-centered approach, because student participation, they learn a lot while participating, right? Yes. And we also engage them parallelly during our sessions, because if teacher-centered means sometimes they may get bored or they might lose the interest. But if it is student-centered centered approach, there is active participation, there is active learning in the process, and there is also a deeper understanding, as we had discussed in the previous time,
Yes,
deeper
ma'am.
understanding of the concept.
Correct, ma'am. Thank you, Kamakshi, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am, Vidya Lakshmi, ma'am. Vidya Lakshmi, ma'am, I would like to hear you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, what is your approach, ma'am? What do you prefer?
By mistake, I unmuted that, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am, no problem, ma'am. Teachers?
Ma'am.
Yes, Lavanya, ma'am.
First we'll go with student center, then later on we'll move to teacher center. So first we go with whatever the student is thinking about one concept, or what they are thinking. If we are introducing some concept, first we learn from the teacher what they know. I mean, from the student what they learn about this concept. Then as a teacher, we have to tell them the proper way to learn that specific concept. So maybe it's a mixed thing of student center as well as teacher center.
Okay, Lavanya, ma'am. So you are saying first we should take a student center approach, then
yes,
the second
then
step
later
should be
on we
teacher
have to
center.
move to teacher center.
Okay, ma'am. Can you please give me any example, ma'am? You can take any concept to
Concept like money, if we taking money. So when we ask a student that what is money, what you know about money, so they may give some examples like, we have seen the money, we have experienced how the money will be, how the coins will be, what are the coins. You can tell me, I can ask the student, you can tell me what are the coins you have seen it. So they will give us some examples, so they can tell the ideas or the ones they experienced. So they will share their experience. After that, getting the points from the class, then we will be able to judge how the students understanding about that concept. Then we can introduce our concept into it. So that will be very easy for them to grasp.
Yes, ma'am. So student center approach you can use to learn your learners, right?
Yes,
What are the
exactly.
things they
Exactly.
know?
What type of learner is?
Yeah. So
in
how
the
much
class.
knowledge they know have
Yes.
about the
How
topic?
much knowledge
then you
about?
can switch to teacher center.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, ma'am. Very good, ma'am.
Thank you.
Sundari, ma'am, do you want to share your thoughts, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, as ma'am told previously,
Yeah.
it should be a mixed sort of thing should be there, ma'am. Not always student-centered and not always teacher-centered.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
maybe the teacher-centered, maybe we can use it in a minimum. It should be in a minimal way, and the student-centered should be more.
Yes, ma'am.
We can use both the techniques depending upon the topic, and if the topic is going to be very difficult or first time we are introducing the topic to the students, then it can be more teacher centered. So like to introduce that, we can ask the questions to the students, so that can be the student centered. So depending upon the topic also, the methods it will vary, ma'am.
Correct. Our method depends on our topic also. Very ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Good, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Sundari, ma'am. Kavita, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Yes,
student approach, student centered approach, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Why, ma'am?
Because student center learning, student interest drives education.
Okay.
Opportunity.
Okay. Okay, Kavita, ma'am. Good, ma'am. As you said, we can prefer student-centered approach. Now, nice to hear Lavanya, ma'am, Sundari, ma'am, Kavita, ma'am, and whatever they share with us. As they said, we can take both the approach, and approaches are based on our topics. So when it comes to teaching, there's no one-size-fits-all approaches, right? We cannot say this approach is right or this approach is right. Some teachers prefer a more student-centered approach, while others prefer a more teacher-centered approach. But there's no right or wrong way to teach, but there are ways to make these approaches more effective. So we have already discussed lots of techniques and strategies, and we have many more. We can choose our techniques and we can choose our methods according to our approach to make our approaches more effective.